it does bring us to my next topic.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing that we kind of want to discuss is Zion Williamson.
Good old Zion.
So, what do you do with Zion now? Do you shut him down?
Shut him down.
Or
Can
do
I go
you
first?
let him play?
Oh, okay.
No,
Go. I want to hear.
Okay,
I want to hear
go
what you
ahead.
got.
Really?
Go ahead.
Okay. Look, coming into the draft, since LeBron James,
Right.
we haven't had this much hype for a number one pick.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
And as much as it pains me to say this, as much as I've been dying to see Zion Williamson play in the NBA,
I like where this is going.
I think you rest him for the rest of the
Okay.
year.
Shut him down.
All right,
Okay.
I'm good then.
Shut him
I'm
down.
good. I'm
Okay,
good.
you rest him for the rest of the
I
year.
can leave now.
I disagree.
I was reading an article today on Yahoo Sports, and they were telling me, and I was reading, and they were saying the Pelican staff are teaching Zion to run and walk in a different way now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard.
When you get to that stage, don't rush him back.
Yeah.
Honestly, what is the point of Zion Williamson coming back right now? Right now, the New Orleans Pelicans are 14th in the Western Conference.
Yeah.
Okay. Zion Williamson has already been proven that he's injury prone.
Yeah.
His shoe exploded last year with
Yeah.
Duke. He got injured in the summer league.
High school.
And now he got injured again right now. They were saying 6 to 8 weeks since the surgery. It's been more than 8 weeks right now.
Right.
And he's just, honestly, unless outside of the hype, outside of fans wanting to see him, I don't think that's fair for Zion Williamson to come back for that reason. The guy's 19 years old. He's a kid right now.
Yeah.
You don't want him to be a bust like Greg Oden.
Yeah.
You don't want him to become like a Michael Olowokandi.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Shout out, Mike.
Shout out to Mike.
Michael Olowokandi.
Kids, do your research. Do your research. And you'll see
Exactly. We know basketball
Candyman
when
can.
you bring up Michael Olowokandi, okay?
Candyman.
Right? All I'm saying is that he has too much
my
hype
goodness.
around him to be a bust.
Yeah.
And right now, if you bring him back too early, I think that it's going to be terrible for him, and God forbid he becomes a
Okay,
bust.
so what do
and
you
I don't
think,
want
Ash?
I thought you were gonna go the other way and say, oh, he should play.
Oh.
But I absolutely agree with you.
Right.
And the one thing I want to say is, this might be a little bit of a hot take. All rookies, not all, but a good amount of rookies that are injury prone, their first year, just like a first year quarterback, redshirt it. Take the year off.
Right.
Like,
Learn-
even if you're healthy.
Even if you're healthy, like the Ben Simmons who had lingering injuries,
Yes.
rest of the year, Joel Embiid, lingering
Blake
injuries,
Griffin.
Blake Griffin,
Yeah.
those type of guys that you're coming into the season. Even Markelle Fultz should have sat the year.
Yeah.
He did.
He
sit
did.
the
He
year.
did.
Pretty
yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Let those guys sit the entire year.
Yeah.
Let them
Yeah.
learn how to be a rookie.
Yeah.
Let them learn how to, eat right, diet, back to backs, how to deal with all that,
Yeah.
and then start off in second year.
I agree. Sorry, go ahead, man.
No. I mean, I just want to hear what everyone's got to say because I disagree with both you guys.
Oh,
and I'm just want to hear what you have to say because if it's the same thing,
You're about to disagree with all three of us.
Right? Exactly. So
I'll say this.
I don't know what you got to say, Kay.
I'm sorry. It's 3-1 right now. But
Ooh.
let me say this now. I'm a GM or I'm the owner of the New Orleans Pelicans.
Right.
What do I have to look for? What is really there or what's around my team? I know I'm not winning a championship. So because I'm not winning a championship, what's the next best thing? Player development, all those things.
Sure.
But we like awards. Awards are huge in the NBA, especially for when you have your marquee guy.
Right.
Now, you want your guy, Zion Williamson, with all the hype, and I guarantee you the NBA too, since he was as hyped as big as LeBron James,
Yeah.
you can't have a guy like that not win Rookie of the Year. I'm sorry. It's at the same time as the NBA, it's a business. You want Zion Williamson to win Rookie of the Year. Right. So
got you. And that only happens if he plays next year.
If he plays. And it also brings that buzz that, oh my gosh, we have the reigning Rookie of the Year.
Right.
All right, what's next for him?
Right.
What's the next move
Gets
for him?
fans in the
He
seats.
has too much invested in him to be a flop. So I say you rest him, let that storyline die, and when he comes back, the next year storyline is going to be, is Zion Williamson going to win Rookie of the Year this year?
Yeah.
Is he going to pull off a Ben Simmons?
Yeah.
Is he going to pull off a Blake Griffin? Is he going to pull off all these things?
Right.
Because there's so much expectation, there's so much hype. And because there's so much hype and so much money invested into this kid, you want to be as cautious as possible, especially if it's his first year.
Okay.
Like I was saying, teach him how to be a rookie.
Right.
It's like getting an answers to a test that you're about to take next year.
Right.
You teach him how to be a rookie. Teach him how to diet. And you also just an advice, get his weight down.
That's the
Yeah.
biggest
Because the fact that you're flying this high, like his
I don't know how he's
explosiveness,
doing it.
it's remarkable. We've
Right.
never seen
Right.
it before. A guy that heavy move that fast,
Right.
jump that high.
It's actually
But the
happening
problem-
to a fault now.
Like,
if you ask me.
exactly.
That's why
It's
they got to
crazy.
teach him how to move,
Walk and run.
run
Yeah.
like an
Yeah.
NBA player
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Now he's got so much raw talent.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now he's reached the NBA, but when you reach the NBA, now you have to stay in the NBA,
Right,
right?
right,
And that's a
right.
different type of ball game.
Yeah,
Like LeBron, when he came in to where he is now, it's a big
Different.
difference.
Yeah.
Oh, huge.
Big difference.
Yeah.
He was just flying,
Yeah.
he was dunking, he was running down.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
has that basketball acumen, that high IQ, and I think Zion Williamson, if he plays hard, if he rests up next year, he comes playing hard, he can reach those heights.
The one thing I just wanted to add to
Yeah,
this whole
uh,
thing before you
Yeah, for
disagree
sure.
with all
No.
the hands, the future of the league in a lot of ways is in the hands of this 19-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Because like you said earlier, it was LeBron being hyped this big, and now it's Zion being hyped this
Right.
big. And you know, we don't necessarily, when LeBron leaves the league, we don't necessarily have that one guy that everybody knows.
Right. Yeah.
We don't necessarily have him. So
Yeah.
you know, you could argue KD, you could say maybe a Kyrie or a
Right.
Kawhi is going to be that next guy, but we don't have that one person that says like, this is I want to watch this guy every
Like
night.
the next generation.
Exactly.
Right.
The next Michael, the next Zion, LeBron,
Maybe Luka.
Maybe Luka.
Maybe.
Can
Yeah,
you guys
of course.
imagine if Luka and Zion were playing right now, that race to Rookie of
Oh
the Year
my
right
God.
now?
Yeah.
Can you imagine how that
Oh,
would
Luka,
be?
Luka.
Right now,
Luka
Luka
Well, Luka already- yeah.
Luka already won it
was
last
the year
year.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last year.
Luka
Yeah.
I think
clean.
maybe,
Oh, yeah.
maybe like
Oh, it's his
Ja.
second year, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's also like this
It
is
would
the
be
Ja
Ja.
Morant
Yeah,
class.
Yeah, sorry,
exactly.
John Morant.
Yeah,
My bad,
John
my bad,
Morant.
John
Yeah,
Morant,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
The greatest
He's
missed dunk of the
insane.
decade or of all time.
Of all time,
I
actually.
think Kevin Love
The
was so
greatest
happy
missed
he
dunk
missed.
of all time.
Kevin
Yeah.
Love's like, thank you for sparing me.
Oh, 100%.
Okay,
Thank
Ray.
you. Yeah.
Why are we all wrong, man?
Oh, man.
Well, this is the thing, man. I mean, you guys are great guys, you know, and you know, the thing is this, okay?
About to nosedive.
You gotta understand something, right?
Mhm.
Yes, you know, he's a huge name. He's, you know, there's a lot invested. There's a lot behind Zion, this and that. But I don't think that shutting him down completely when he's probably ready to go, let's say if he's ready to go after the All-Star break or whatnot, I don't think that's a good thing because he's already sat down, he's watched. He understands sitting on that bench, watch his team lose or so. He's learning already. And I know that they've got the right staff and the people around him to try to teach him, you know, the right things in that. I still think that even if there's a few more games left, we're going to finish off the season, let him play.
Absolutely.
Because one, you know, the fans, because we could keep doing this, you know, shutting down thing. Guy gets, you know, I don't think he still needs to get used to that NBA, you know, playing in the NBA, being on the floor.
Right.
He's going to be able to do all of that, I'm sure, next year and everything, but he still does need to get accustomed to playing, to getting used to it, because it's one thing about, you know, trying to, you know, chase that elusive Rookie of the Year award. If that's what the NBA is really going for, and if that's what the team and franchise
business.
is going for, then that's the only argument that I think makes sense and
Shut
it's
him
valid
down.
to shut him down for that.
Right.
But if it's not that, and if it's not a Rookie of the Year that you're trying to chase for this kid, let the kid kind of get used to that NBA, that playing, because that adjustment and that adjustment going into next season in the summer, you can't adjust in the summer the same way.
They got
right?
practice squads for
Playing-
that.
I'm sure, but it's not the same. It's not the same adjustment. So get him in there.
I think that's such a huge point, though. The money factor. Like,
It is
no
about
one
the money.
is coming to watch a New Orleans Pelicans game. If you watch
Right.
the
Yeah.
games now, bro,
It's
there's
empty.
maybe 1,000 people.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm boosting,
Yeah.
but at the same
Right.
time,
Right.
there's maybe 5,000 people in the stands.
Sure.
And Zion would have filled that
Yeah.
arena.
Absolutely.
The
That's
thing is,
fine.
it's not only him wanting to be the NBA wanting him to be the Rookie of the Year. They want that torch from LeBron to Zion to be
move it
passed.
Passed,
Yeah.
yeah.
They
Right.
want him to be the face of the NBA moving forward. Like, it's not just 1 year they want. They want that guy to stick around for a long time because he's the next like superstar to take the lead to the
Now,
next
Luka
land.
probably has something to say about
Yeah,
that.
Now he
Luka has
does.
something to
Now
say
he
about
does.
that, for
But like
sure.
we went MJ to Kobe
Yeah.
to LeBron, right? There's always one superstar the NBA
But-
had where everybody wanted to watch, and
Listen.
they're shaping Zion to be that way.
they
And if
are,
you bring
but-
him back now, he could be a great.
I mean, how great is Blake Griffin right now?
yeah, but he didn't
He's
have
good.
those expectations
He's great.
though.
He didn't have the same expectations, but Blake Griffin is just arguably almost as explosive as Zion is.
Oh, in
I
terms
mean,
of like playing,
right, playing
yeah.
style and
Right,
everything.
right.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, yes, you're putting pressure on this kid. I mean, Zion is a special player.
He's
Don't
box
get me
office.
wrong.
Yep.
He is. He's everything and
Yep.
more.
Yep.
But I still think that, just having that rust, kind of, it could be bad. I just think, I could just see it happening. Him coming back next season, and next thing you know, let's say if he gets hurt again or something happens, and then we're gonna really think like, geez, you're right. It could turn into a Greg Oden, or Candyman situation,
Right.
Michael, and it's not. That's not good.
Michael's
Hold on,
healthy like that.
Let me,
Yeah, he was.
Right?
let me,
But
let,
So-
yeah, go
hold on.
ahead.
Let
man.
me end off that topic with these two things. First thing I'm going to say is, listen, he has NBA team. Like, there's NBA players that he's with right now, practice squad and all that stuff.
Sure.
So he'll get all that stuff out of the way. If Ben Simmons could be fine without a jump shot, then he'll be fine. The second thing I'm saying is, listen, if like you were saying, that nobody's at the New Orleans games right now.
Not one person's watching.
Listen,
the
here's the
Nobody.
thing right now. If you work a minimum wage job and you want to see an NBA team and you live in New Orleans, go see them
Go to
right
New
now.
Orleans, yeah.
Because next year when Zion comes back, if you don't got dollars,
Inflation.
you're not going
yeah.
to those
Going
games.
on. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
right now,
Yeah.
it's a win for both markets. The lower end people that don't make as much but still want to see an NBA game, go watch the games. You
Just-
do that, go do all those things. Because
just-
next year, you're not getting tickets.
Just to add another thing, by the way, if Zion doesn't end up playing next year and that rust actually settles, I wouldn't be surprised if New Orleans doesn't have a basketball team anymore. Like
That's another thing.
realistically,
Yep.
That's
they
another
could be
thing.
the next
That's true.
Seattle
So
Supersonics.
remember-
But that's my point in what I'm saying. Let the guy play. Because if he plays near the end half of this season,
Yeah.
first of all, their attendance spikes.
Absolutely.
Spikes.
Yeah.
Rating spike. Everything kind of helps to try to save that team together. I'm not saying they're making the playoffs. You're right. I think it's over for those guys.
Right.
They're not making the playoffs.
But is it
That's
worth
not happening.
that to risk this guy's future for that? Just for hype? You know what I mean?
You don't
Like
play
this-
him. You don't play him
I
full
don't know,
minutes
man.
every night. You can
But the
play him
thing-
a few minutes.
And plus,
you know.
honestly, the rust thing, like if you play him on the
Load
the-
manager.
the second half of the second half, load manager. if you play him on the second half of the season,
right?
okay, and then what? You're off for 6 months. You know what I mean? You're not playing NBA ball again, and then you're back in October, right? So it's like, do those games really matter then at that point for rust and experience?
I
You
think
know
we're
what I mean?
split on this Zion thing.
But the thing I'll say this:
Yeah.
the hype, all that stuff is going to be there anyways.
It's gonna be there
Everything
regardless.
in terms of him not being on the floor, everything that's a part of him not being on the floor, all that stuff is going to be there. Fans are still going to be expecting all those things, so you don't have to worry about a drop off or people forgetting about Zion Williamson. You don't have to worry about that. The media will do all that stuff to keep that alive.
For sure.
Especially what you were saying, because maybe the Pelicans don't have a team next year. That's why, not next year, but in the future. In the future.
Yeah.
That's why you want to savor this kid even more, because with those big shoulders, there comes a lot of big responsibilities and a lot of people investing a lot of money into this kid. And he's literally holding a future
Yeah, he is.
in the palm.
Yeah,
Like
literally.
he's holding a city, their future in the palm of his hands.
Uncle Ben said the same thing to Spider-Man. It's a lot
Great
of
power
responsibility.
comes with great
Wow.
responsibility.
Superhero.
Marvel,
I like that.
Marvel over DC, but that's another time for talk for another day.
See, that's the
That's
thing,
another
right?
show,
right?
That's another
But
channel.
it's just like you got to look at it. Zion. He's got a lot of potential, but you still do need to consider the fact that who's really Ja Morant is probably
He's already rookie of the year.
Rookie.
Yeah.
It's already done.
So you think he's rookie of the year locked
Yeah.
in?
He's rookie of the year.
Locked
It's
in?
done.
Locked
Okay,
in.
so if
Probably.
he's rookie of the year locked in, Memphis is definitely not making the playoffs. You
Absolutely
know that,
not.
right?
Mhm.
So if Zion comes back, let's say halfway through the season, and he starts to just put on some crazy
Nope.
numbers, you don't
Right.
think Zion
Nope, not
gets
enough
rookie of
time.
the year?
Not enough time.
No.
Because don't you remember what happened with
Also,
Joel
I think
Embiid?
Well,
there's a limit. Like you
Yeah,
need
there
to
is
yeah,
a
it's a
limit.
limit.
There's a certain amount of
No,
yeah,
no, no,
exactly.
no, no.
Like, does anybody remember Malcolm Brogdon winning Rookie of the Year?
Yeah.
Joel
Right,
Embiid
yeah.
was
Yeah.
balling
I
that
know.
year,
Yeah,
I know.
but Malcolm
Michael
Brogdon got it because
still
he
got
played
it.
more.
More.
Played
So
more.
it doesn't matter
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
Zion does, maybe at this point, unless
Yeah.
he's averaging like Wilt Chamberlain numbers out the gate, which
That's
is
what
not
I'm saying.
happening, which is
But that's
impossible.
probably, but
So
in
it's
New Orleans,
it's already
in New
done.
Orleans, I love to see the way Brandon Ingram's playing. He's having an amazing
Absolutely
amazing
All
year.
star this year. by the way.
All-star for
Yeah.
sure. And the great thing too for Ingram is that he's got he's in his contract. He's in a contract year.
I believe
So
so.
he's going to be able to look at some offers now next season and see what's out there and feel the
Look.
market, which is also he's a great player.
Zion coming back this year doesn't make or break the Pelicans. Pelicans.
No.
Just wait
You're
it
right.
out,
You're
rest
right.
up, learn how to walk and run
Sit.
again.
So
I
we're,
guess,
so we're
right?
resting him. He's got to learn how to run and walk.
He has to
again.
learn how to run and walk
Literally.
right now.
That kills the
like
argument right there.
to me, honestly,
He can't
they're
run.
just
He can't
saying that he's might come back All-Star break. But if you ask me,
Yeah.
they know he's gone for the rest of the
No,
season.
we'll see Zion next
Yeah.
year.
Sit his
he's-
ass down.
They
man.
know he's
Not-
gone. They're
not
just
doing
trying
that.
to create a story.
He's not
Exactly.
If
playing.
you ask me, they're just trying to create a story. They know he's gone. But when you're saying he has to learn how to walk and run differently,
That's a problem.
when you got to teach a 19-year-old how to run and walk differently again,
Yeah.
there's a problem.
When
Yeah.
Zion takes a jump shot, it makes it makes breaking news.
Yeah.
Like when he's
Yeah.
shooting in practice, it makes
Yeah.
breaking news,
Right.
man.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
not playing. Let's just
No.
cut. He's not playing.
Okay, perfect. So
not
Zion's done.